Today's gospel continues our reflections on the Good Shepherd, which we heard about Sunday at Mass. And I'm going to be honest with you. The only things that I know about sheep or shepherds come from homilies. I grew up in the LA suburbs, and my current location in Washington, D.C. does not give me much exposure to sheep. But it does give me a lot of exposure to dogs. In my neighborhood, I could tell you the names of all the dogs. They're humans, not so much. I know which dogs to say hi to, which dogs I should cross the street for, which ones are off leash, who prefers humans to dogs, and so on. So while I can think of some things about a sheep knowing their shepherd's voice, it's actually much more illuminating for me to think about a dog knowing their owner's voice. And most of all, I can tell you about my dog, Buddy. Buddy is a good buddy dog. We were recently away for spring break, and as soon as I got to the ranch where Buddy was stayed for spring break, he heard my voice and he came running to me. But with Buddy, I'm special, but I'm not his person. That's my husband. Matt and Buddy belong to each other. Buddy loves me and he loves my kids, but Buddy is without question my husband's dog. Buddy, like the good cattle dog that he is, would follow my husband anywhere. He does tricks for my husband that he doesn't do for anyone else. They go hiking together, they go on walks together, and again, Buddy would follow him anywhere. Buddy knows my voice, and he knows my kids' voices, and he can even tell their cries apart in the middle of the night. But there's a difference between him knowing these voices and him knowing Matt's voice. And this analogy really helps me think about God. We can love God like Buddy loves me, or like Buddy loves my kids. Responding when called, reaching out for comfort and belonging, and going through all the motions of the relationship. We have a good relationship. I come home from work every day to walk Buddy. He cuddles up with me at night. And from the outside, you would think that Buddy and I are super close. But what would it mean to have a relationship with God like Buddy has with his person? What would it mean to know God's voice so well that we would do anything for God? And this analogy might help you to take stock of your relationship with God. Given that you're listening to a weekday gospel reflection, I think we can probably assume that you're at least putting in some effort to your relationship with God. But is it the type of relationship where you're so attuned to God that you could follow God anywhere? Is it the type of relationship where there's this deep unity, not just a back and forth? The gospel today speaks of this unity. Jesus tells of him and the Father being one. And this unity is our invitation today. So today, I invite you to reflect on how you hear God's voice in your life. In particular, here are some questions that can be fruitful for reflection. Are there any obstructions to your hearing? Are there things drowning out God's voice? Are there things we're mistaking for God's voice? When you hear God's voice, how do you respond? Is it the type of response that Buddy gives to me? Or might it be more like Buddy's response to Matt, to his person? What would a relationship with God, where God is your person, look like? And how might you cultivate that in your prayer life? Jesus calls each of us by name. How will we respond?